I got these two there. What you was saying before you went into the ring?
I
to
said
Khaliq?
because Khaliq said he got robbed.
Oh, let's come over here, y'all. They coming with the cars right there.
I'm too young to get ran over.
All right, now what was you saying?
I said because that was for Khaliq because he said he got robbed.
Come over here, Khaliq.
So I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna do this for him because I need to carry on his legacy too. Because him right here, like how many times have you won nationals and JOs?
I went to JOs twice, but nationals I won 7 times.
Did you hear that? 7-time nationals, 2-time JOs. I'm trying to be like him because he has a lot of national tournaments.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah. I truly appreciate your time, Jake. All right, up next we're gonna get my dog Khaliq. All right, there you have it. On the ropes, here we go. All right, today on the ropes, I'm outside of Hillcrest Boxing. Today, I have the 7-time national champion. 2 of those are from the JOs, man. Khaliq, what's good, big dog?
What's up, Dad?
Hey, man, let's jump right into it, man. We got to talk about this year's. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's start with the nationals because everything happened so fast after the pandemic year that both happened at the same time. So go back to nationals first, talk about that experience, and then the preparation with just a few months going into the JOs.
The nationals, some of the last national, right?
That's correct.
The preparation, well, we started the nationals for the last nationals we just went to.
That's correct.
Preparation was started in October. We started our training camp. October, it got postponed to March, so we took a break. Then we got right back into it and started our other training camp for the postponed one in March. And you know, we started getting back into it, getting ready for that. Getting ready for the March one that I just won before the JOs. So,
you know, I guess I'm going back to that finals match, man, because you know, one of the big things, man, it's a lot of talent in the DMV area when it comes to the sport of boxing. It's a rich tradition that your pops could definitely talk about, man. I think at one point in time, they were 5 world champions all at one time.
Yeah.
Let's speak on that first, and then we're going to bring it back to you. To where you're doing what you're doing. Talk about that, Dad.
You know, yeah, back then it was 5 world champions, but also it was still, again, a lot of other talent. You know, Gary Payne. You had a lot of other fighters that were, you know, just great. You had Teddy Reed. You had Teddy Reed. You had who else? What's his name from Sugar Ray Leonard's gym?
I can imagine during that.
Yeah,
I can imagine during that time that it was a lot of good work in the ring, and probably a lot of stories that was probably could be told.
I mean, you know, it was just a lot of other fighters. Star Child. I mean, from Kenilworth, like. It was just a lot of other fighters that were just good at that time, but they just weren't in the height of it, like Joppy and Keith Holmes and Sean Bay, but they were right there underneath, you know what I mean? One good fight could have propelled them to, you know, to a world title fight, you know what I mean? It's just the politics of boxing, you know.
And see, and what this is, I equate it to your era, Khaliq. Right now, it's so much top talent. As you know, the back and forths with the no excuse gyms. You got the Marcells, the Benjamins, Jordan, and you name them, it's out there, man. This talent, this area is rich with talent.
Yeah, man. You know, man, I can go back to Ben Johnson and Khaliq when they used to spar over at No Excuse when they were little, 8, 9, 10 years old. And you saw them start winning at 8, 9, and 10 years old, the silver gloves, and making it to the championships and winning the JO. Like, to me, that showed the talent level. And like I always tell my son to this day, you know, Ben Johnson will always be your toughest opponent to me, because I seen you and him just literally go at it. And like to me, them coming up, just like back in the day, Sean Bay and all of them, and Reggie Green and all of them coming up, it just produced an era where, like now we have an era where we got, these two guys are winning, and it's more kids winning from our area, you know, because they got some other kids to look at, you know what I mean, and to try to model after, you feel me? So, I mean, I'm happy about it, you know, I mean, you know, I'm good with it, you know.
You know, speaking on that to now, your time, Khaliq, and your era of boxing, man, who are some of the people, man, that you look at as a rival or just good work?
Then Marcel, got Marcel, you got Jeremiah
Jameson.
You got
Let me ask you this: how tough was that nationals, knowing that you know been in the probably sparred many times with them, man? Is it easier to fight someone you've been involved with, or is it a tougher matchup that you don't see this person so much?
I feel like if you spar someone a lot, it's going to be harder. Like if you spar someone a lot and you fight them in a fight, it's going to be harder because like you know each other moves from sparring each other a lot. But if you fight someone that you regularly don't spar, I feel like it would be an easier fight because you don't really know each other moves like that.
Well, let me ask you that though. Do you see certain tendencies after fighting someone so many times? Do you pick up like, oh, I know he about to throw the check hook, or oh, I see he about to throw that jab?
Yeah, I pick up on it. Like even in sparring, I pick up on it every time.
How much is boxing mental as compared to physical in your opinion?
I feel like boxing mentally is 80. I feel like 80% mentally is boxing, but it's 20% physical. Cause like you gotta think, you gotta be disciplined on your weight, making your weight. Say like you going out to the nationals for a week, you gotta discipline yourself to make that weight. So like I feel like that's a mental fight. Fighting that, like trying to make weight in boxing.
You know, that's a big thing right there. Making weight. What's your walk around weight and what's your fighting weight?
My fighting weight is 132, but my walk around weight is 138.
You actually walk around 138? You say close to fighting weight. You might find a lot of people that say, hey, maybe 150s and fight at the 132s.
Yeah, you know, but I always told my son, you know, like, you know, we're not gonna be at no nationals. You know, we're not gonna be out there trying to lose 10 pounds every night, or I mean, hypothetically speaking, I'm just saying, or just trying to lose a whole lot of weight every night just to get on weight, just to win. I think I don't like winning that way. I like winning, you know, truthfully, like, and I'm saying where you don't gotta lose 20 pounds or 15 pounds just so you could be this huge, big, humongous guy in the ring, and your opponent is really at his quote-unquote natural fighting weight. You know, I don't want to get it like, so I just, and then it's just for the health factor of it. I tell my son that the most we losing before we start any weight class, like right now at your age, we only gonna lose like 10 pounds. I'm not losing no 15, no 13 pounds. Like if we gotta do that much, I'm moving him up to the next weight class, and then that's just it. Because his talent level can allow him to fight up at a heavier weight. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it get to that point. But right now he's comfortably making, you know, 132, and you know, he just like I actually was gonna move him up to 138 for the December Nationals. He was like, Daddy, nah, I can make 32 still. And I was like, bro, you gotta prove it, because you know, I ain't getting out there and you know, gotta hold the mitts for you and make sure you on weight and all that. I'm not, I'm just not gonna be burning all that kind of energy. And he's like, Daddy, I got it. I was like, you got 2 weeks to show me. If you don't get it in 2 weeks, you're not gonna, I'm gonna put you in the next weight class. He got it down. And I was like, okay, we good. I mean, and he's still been good. Even for this national tournament that just the JOs, I was like, what weight you want to fly? You want to go up? You want to stay at 32? He was like, Dad, I still can make 32. Again, he showed me, weeks before. I was like, okay, you got it. So I'm not forcing him to lose no whole lot of weight. To me, his weight class is for his size and his body. It's the right weight class.
Talk about this year's JOs. You got the silver this year. Do you feel there were anything you could have done differently, or I hate to ask that question because it's yeah. Give your thoughts on the nationals.
I feel like, okay, we're gonna start on the first day. The first day, I stopped the dude, third round. I feel like I should have got him I should have got that dude up out of there earlier. If I would have stayed the way I was fighting instead of trying to try hard and get him up out of there and try to stop him. I feel like I should have kept boxing that dude the same way from the first round. The second fight, I stopped that dude. I stopped another dude again. The second fight, boxed him clean, but I started going to the body more. Cause my dad said go to the body more to stop them in their tracks, and stop them in their tracks and to stop them in their tracks.
Let me ask you this: going into that finals, what was your confidence level like? And did you know your opponent at that time?
I knew the opponent because from way back in March, from the December Nationals that just passed, he fought. Remember him fighting Marcel?
I remember that.
I remember him fighting Marcel, and Marcel beat him. So that's the only thing I remember about him. But other than that, I don't really know him like that.
Speaking of stoppage, do you feel you have to do that in order to keep it out the judges' hands? That way hey man, it's all on me.
Stoppage. I mean, not necessarily. I don't gotta get a stoppage every fight, but just to make it look dominating, and to let them know I'm dominating, and not make it in the judges' hands where they gotta flip a coin to see, for the winner and stuff. So I try to get the stoppage every fight.
Now, you part of USA Boxing Elite, correct?
Yeah.
How long have you been a part of them? The elites now.
Well, the elite team, he's been a part of them since everybody that won the nationals, the December nationals, which were in March due to the postponement. Everybody that made the team is still ranked #1, no matter what happened at the JOs. Because not only did he lose, there was a couple other his teammates that made the national team that lost. Like the 165 kid, he lost, and somebody else lost. I think about 2 or 3 other kids that's on the team with them lost. Raymir lost from Philly, he lost, but they're still on the team because they won the dance, the big dance when it was time to win the big dance to make the team. So
So is the goal to be part of go the Olympic route, or are you looking more towards the professional route later? Now I'm not talking now.
Well, I mean,
you gotta see how it plays out.
See how it play out. Cause how old are you right now?
16.
So you mean 20? So you'll still be young. So you'll be 20 when that 2024 come up.
no,
I'll be 19.
he'll be about 19. Yeah.
About 19.
Yeah, and I mean, just me personally, I'm always giving him the option because I want him to be in control, sort of what he wants to do, and I want to, be a cradle to that. But my own intuition for him would be to go the Olympic route and try to make the Olympics, and that's just my goal for him. I think it's a good goal, and because I'm not going to turn him pro at no 17 or nothing like that and be waiting around. And
So you're not going to Mexico route?
I'm not going to Mexico. I'm not. I want him to turn pro and be a grown man strength, or grown man, mentality. He already has a skill now, but I want him to be all the way tuned. I don't want to go in there 80%, 75%. I want to be 100% ready for professional boxing. You know what I'm saying? As far as taking punches, and giving them out. You know what I mean? With the strength wise. So I mean, I really do want him to go the Olympic route because of course, they start at this age and they start, with looking at all the kids that are, competing on a high level. So yes, he's already made Team USA, so he has the potential to go the Olympic route, and that's what I want to do.
Let me ask you, what was your thoughts when you saw when Keyshawn went pro and then was able now to go for the gold? That's pretty crazy right there.
I was surprised. I thought you couldn't do that.
What's the rule behind that? I really don't know.
They switched it up because a lot of other countries are allowing their professionals to come back and fight amateurs, in which what they're doing, USA Boxing is doing with that. I think it's totally fair. I think it's just because if we don't start sending some of our kids that like Keyshawn, the kids that are really pro but they're amateur, like, we won't be able to compete with these other countries because they got professionals fighting kids that are just turned 17 or 18 who made the Olympic team. But it's just unfair. I was talking to Coach Ernesto one day and I told him the fairest thing for USA Boxing to do to me would be to, not just USA Boxing, I'm talking about AIBA. Cut out all these countries that have full-time Olympic gold medalists. Only make a cap for it to where the cap would be,
Would that be called the Lomachenko rule?
Yeah, but you can only win a gold medal or medal in the Olympics twice, and you can't be over a certain age to compete in Olympic boxing. So, for instance, make it so the age would be capped off at like 24, 25. You understand? 24 years old. So that means you could compete in the Olympics when you're 18 and come back again.
You already know Cuba gonna fight that though.
23.
Cuba will fight that.
You could come back when you're 23, but after 23 years old, you're done. If you won the gold medal twice, you done. Leave it. That's it. You can't keep coming back again when you're 28, and then you fighting a kid that you should be pro. No matter if Cuba, Germany, all these countries that are under what's that? What's that?
I know what you're talking about. And the Federation.
Yeah, you know how they run their countries. Communists. They're under communism. Yeah, they run the communist style of what their countries are. North Korea, and all of that. Y'all just having these guys come back to the Olympics 3 and 4 times, fighting somebody fresh out the gate. It's just unfair. But to me, that's why these countries don't have no professional world champions. So I mean, I just think, again, one last time that the AIBA people should say, hey, you can only compete in 2 Olympics, and that's it. If you over the age of 24, that's it. So to be fair to some of these countries who don't do that, like us, Canada and stuff, so that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I got a question about this. I don't know if you can't even answer this, but if I would just ask your opinion on it. Yeah, I understand in the pandemic year, certain places were only open up to have events, i.e. the South. Do you feel the USA boxing tournaments like the Nationals and the JOs will ever be in this area, the DMV area?
Nah, I don't think so. It's not too many hotels here.
No, it is. Nah, I would say that's.
You mean the pricing? What was them hotels running down there? What was they running like down there?
They were like between 70.
Ooh, yeah, that might be hard.
$100, a decent hotel. But I really do think they should bring the Nationals here to Washington D.C. just because. I mean, you know, a lot of times people go to the nationals, and it's another way of seeing another city. Like a lot of the cities when I was fighting amateurs were cities I never been to if it wasn't for boxing. So is it good to see some of the people come here and get to come be in DC for the nationals, but we might have lost early on the second day. We get to go to the monument. Let's go to the monument. Let's go to the White House. Let's ride by these places where we might not have came here if it wasn't for boxing. So I think that's a good thing, you know, that'll be a good thing. But only thing I think that's stopping USA Boxing from coming here mainly is because things cost so much here, like to get to convention center and them little hit towns, like them little small towns, Shreveport and all these little small inky pinky towns, they're able to get their civic centers and stuff. I'm just hypothetically speaking, 10,000 for the whole week. But you come here to DC, it's gonna be 150,000 for the whole week.
See, that's a great point. I never thought of it like that, because you have to look at the other things that's involved with the process.
So if you with USA Boxing, you like, look, we could go to this small town in Texas that ain't doing nothing, and we could rent their civic center for 10,000 and get a deal with some hotels that's close by and say, hey, boom, hey, you know, it's all about pricing. Why was it in West Virginia? Because the same factor. Like, remember when it was there?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I mean, you got this small town, like, they got enough hotels to handle everything, but, you know, the venue is like, oh, yeah, we could give you this venue for something cheap rather than going to New York, Atlanta, where they gonna be like, hey, we host big events here. If y'all want to get this, y'all got to give us 150,000 for the week. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's gonna be one of the major issues to stop it from coming here. This is my opinion.
Now I'm gonna ask you, Dad. Do you train Khaliq more towards the pro style?
Right now I do.
I was about to say, because there's certain things you see him do that
that's
you like,
yeah,
and that's how they getting caught.
Yeah.
He just not just going in there throwing for the whole three.
He's not doing a whole bunch of, you know, shoe shining and stuff like that.
Waste of energy.
That was a part of amateur boxing, especially back in the day when I was coming up. And a lot of people back in the day used to get caught up in that amateur system, and they couldn't make the transition. So, I mean, the way boxing is now, they're respecting the thought process of boxing now, where it ain't all just about just doing all of that. It's more punch placement. The defense behind your after you punch, are you making a defensive move, or all of that is really factoring in with amateur boxing nowadays. So that's I guess that's sort of
great point.
Saying.
How does that translate over into the judges? Because are they focused on a certain style mentality because they so used to seeing a certain thing? How does that work?
You know, it's funny. I look at some of the judges, especially some of the ones I know at the nationals, because I've been to many nationals before, and I've seen some good judges, and I've seen some judges that I'm like, man, what were you looking at? And but the judges I see that sometimes come and talk to me or say, man, that kid his style is nice. You know, and it lets me know that they're purists of the sport of boxing, because when you learn this sport, and if I see a fighter, for instance, and I know he's been taught well, a real boxer knows, oh, that kid, I see his style, he's been taught right. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And some of the judges have that capability to know, oh, this kid can do it right here. This kid, he got his fundamentals down. So, you know, when you can see that, some judges see it, some judges don't. You got some judges that are just judges. I just want to be a judge, and I could pretty much look at a fight and tell that someone's winning. Nah, it goes deeper than that to me. When you when you seeing that punch placement and that defense come behind it, and him doing a roll under defensive move, or just his ring generalship as far as movement, and how he might scoot up and grab just to keep his smother his opponent's punch just for that split moment and spin out. Those are things that have to be taught. It's a skill development behind that. So, and when you got judges that can notice that, that's when, you know, I say they a good judge, you know.
Now, Khaliq, I gotta ask you this. With being such a special talent, man, I equated to AAU, man. You know how you have the scouts all at the events. I'm quite sure, man, there's plenty promotional companies, managers, everything, scouting. You know, Jay Prince goes there a lot. Has anybody tried to start making the offers, man? Like, hey, have you decided you might want to turn pro in the next year too? Has that happened to you yet?
Nah, not yet.
Dad, has that happened to you? They come up to you about that, talking about that?
I had a few just brief like talks with a couple people, and it's just like, yeah, man, you know, we see your boy, you know, man, he's something special, and I'm like, you know, I mean, thank you, and I appreciate it, and I'm just still, again, not ready yet because, I fought amateur and professional before, and I just think it's a time and place for that. When I know he's ready for that, them 8-ounce gloves, which is a totally different punch when you take it. Than if
I don't think people understand that. Them 2 ounces, man.
When you get a professional glove, a 10-ounce. I showed my son one day. I got a 10-ounce professional glove for him, and I got a 10-ounce amateur glove for him. And he saw the difference in the thickness of the padding of that amateur as for with the pro one that was like this thick. And I was like, press on it, and I was like, he was like, dang, I can feel my knuckles a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the difference. That's the difference between pro and amateur. You know, that one little sweep you get caught with, you might clip.
You might go to sleep.
Okay, and that could be from somebody who's a C or D class fighter, and they just threw a wild haymaker and caught you. You out. So it ain't like you got that headgear and that thick 10-ounce glove on, you know. So it's that part of it I want him to get acclimated to and get molded to, and then we'll go that route.
Hey man, I gotta say, man, I truly appreciate your time today, man. Well, what's up next for y'all?
Well, we're gonna compete in some of these little shows if we could get some matches.
Before you speak on that, do you feel, man, in this we're gonna have some big events in this area with the top talent and just in our area competing against each other? Is it hard to get the matchups with the best against the best?
It's hard because everyone's jockeying for position. Everyone's trying to keep their self unblemished, especially in the city. And you know, I mean, it's one of them touchy situations, but
Will it change?
I don't think so. Cause back in my day, that's another thing that made us have great fighters back then. Right over there, I remember seeing Lillian Shanbay. I remember seeing Keith Holmes and Daryl Coley in Old Hillcrest.
I'm gonna show you the Old Hillcrest.
It used to be right. It wasn't
just like that,
building, but it was right there with them. See that grass is at? I mean, where the grass going over top.
You say right there? I can't.
Yes.
If I just go way back with that trash can at.
Yeah,
right there.
Behind that trash can. When Lily and Shanbay fought, this whole parking lot was filled up. I mean, all people was parked all out there, over in the apartments, all down there. I'm talking about this parking lot from here to here was filled up. And Shanbay became a world champion. Like, he already had it here, you know, that world championship field. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just remember some of the old bouts that I've seen in the old Hillcrest gym across the street. I mean, cross right from over here. I mean, it just, and back then everybody used to fight each other. Like, you know, now it's sort of like everybody's trying to, oh, now we don't want to fight this person. We don't want to fight that person. Or we want to do this, or we want to do that, or we want to do that. You know.
Explain the red and blue corner. A lot of people don't understand that.
What you mean as far as?
Red and blue corner. Like, someone is expected to win the fight.
Yeah, well, it's a winner. You know, this.
Is that what the jockeying up position comes into play?
Yeah, because everybody wants to be one up or have the edge, or to say, oh, I beat this person or I beat that person. And I mean, it's just it's to me it's the nature of the sport. And but again, man, like I wish we could go back to them days where when everybody fought everybody. Like, you know, to me doing that's how you get you get recognized as being one of the greats when you could say that. Like, you know, I probably fought everybody back in my day that was worth mentioning. Like back in the day, like, you know, when I was fighting, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm in the DC Boxing Hall of Fame. You know, I just didn't, you know, my coach, he didn't believe in, we fought everybody. You know, we just, you know.
You know, speaking on that, I did something with Keith, and he was talking about the fundamentals is lost in today's kid.
He's throwing his punches, the way his body movement is, and how he's maneuvering in the ring, offensively and defensively. You know, you look at it and you say, "Oh, that's the art of boxing right there. That kid can fight." You know, that's what lets me know that, oh, he got the fundamentals down. Whoever his trainer was, they know they stuff. And you know, I've gotten that a few times based off how he's been performing. You know, well, more than a few times. Like, you know, a lot of people come like, "Dang, man, what you doing?" Like, you know, the ground foundation of him are just fundamentals. I started with, you know, perfect posture and turning with his punches and having balance in the ring, and everything else was a build off of that.
How important is muscle memory? What I mean by that is constantly practicing certain throws, certain punches, so when you see it coming, it's just automatic.
It's a very important part of boxing. You know, but it to me, it's a lot of other things that
you go back to the mental
that supersede that. To me, is just, you know, because a person can be strong, but their thought process might not allow them to beat somebody who's not as strong as them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot that plays in the factor, but you know, most important with me, getting the basic foundation of fundamentals, a solid fundamental kid, you know, that'll take you a long way.
Man, let me ask you, Khaliq, who are some of the pros that you had a chance to get some good work in with?
I just sparred today with some of the pros in here. Brandon Bulldog.
Shout out to Brandon. All my bully people know Brandon.
Dude named Speed, a pro. I just worked with it today. Him.
Have you been in with Keyshawn?
Number one, Keyshawn Williams.
Before Keyshawn and them left to go out to Colorado, they were over here for like maybe a month and a half or something.
I spar Duke.
Oh, that's right. All three the Davis brothers up in here.
Yeah.
Like, so he got to spar with some great work with Keyshawn
And Keon. Spar Duke Reagan. You know Duke Reagan?
I know, dude.
Spar him a couple years ago.
Who would you like to get work in? Just to see where you are.
For the pro?
Yeah.
Oh man. It's a good question.
You love Black, man. That would be like, man, that would be my dream spawn right there, just to see where I'm at.
Man.
We've been over Gary Russell in them gym too. They groom him up. They've groomed him. They put a lot of knowledge on to him. So a lot of boxers that he fights, you know, they're not doing a lot that he hasn't seen before. So, you know, yeah.
That's what I was saying, man. That's why I was asking you that question earlier, man. When you got the professional, the promotional company scouts and everybody looking, man, you know, when you at that age, they start asking questions like, hey, man, what you thought about next? Especially when you keep winning like this, man.
Yeah.
You becoming the hot commodity.
We got a good group of kids that's winning right now. Literally, like, we got a good group. You know, that are, you know, like him, like my son. You know, Jordan Roach, man, he had a phenomenal tournament. He was stopping everybody. Like, you got Ben Johnson, of course. You had We got Jamal Harvey here.
There's Scooter.
We got Scooter did an amazing job. Scooter, I was very proud of Scooter, man. I mean, he beat some good tough opponent. Lorenzo Powell, that was a heck of a win right there when he beat him, man. That boy's like I think he won he a multi-national champion. You know, he's very well recognized, man. And Scooter got him. So you got Scooter, man. You got Quincy from Headbangers. We got some top kids, not just one or two. Like listen to all them names I just called out right there, man. You know.
Man, I would love to see like an amateur showcase in that area, like a nighttime event, man. Like it's a official fight, but for the amateur level. Yeah. Just to showcase their talent, man. I would love to see that.
We actually was supposed to go. They were doing like this Olympic festival thing. It's actually this Friday coming up, where the people, a lot of the kids that won the USA Nationals, the #1 kids were gonna go out there and fight, some top ranked kids. Mm-hmm. And but it just became to be too much after this tournament, as far as airfare pricing, cause
man, tell them how much you can actually spend in a week, man, to go to a national.
The nationals, man, with everything all together, man, like you looking to spend anywhere in between, like, hotel fees is almost like $1,000. Airfare for me and him was like $1,000, and that was we didn't even fly into Lubbock. We flew into Amarillo. I got a rental car and drove an hour and a half down, man, because it was like $1,800 just to go for me and him to, go to flying to Lubbock. It was just almost $1,000 more. So I was able to find a cheaper route to get there, which saved some money. But again, you could easily spend like $4,500, $4,000 at these.
And for my people out there. That's dedication, man.
Hotels, rental cars for the week, and just airfare. $3,000, $4,000. It's but I'm sort of glad it's trickling down to the end for us because, like I said, he's 16, so a couple more years of these tournaments and it's a wrap.
Next thing you know, you off to what, Colorado?
Yeah, we all going to professional.
Professional route.
Yeah. So.
Man, but I truly appreciate y'all time today, man.
Yeah.
Any last words before we wrap it up?
I just want to, man, I really just want to thank you for showcasing all the amateurs in this area and abroad, all the stuff you do, especially for the kids coming up in the Washington, D.C. region, showcasing the spawn, allowing us to have a platform. I think that is amazing, man, and I'm anytime you want to come and, show us and show our spawn and show what we doing and interview us and get behind the scenes on us, you're more than welcome, so always, I just
truly
to tell
appreciate
you that,
it.
man.
Day one supporter right
yes,
here.
Man, because,
Day one supporter.
Who else is doing this for us? Who else is doing this for us? Nobody. So for us, for everybody from this area that's able to look at your page and they should be a fan of letting you come in their house and show the spawn and show the great work that Washington D.C., the whole Washington D.C. area is producing, and all the champions we have. So I just want to commend you for that and thank you and show appreciation to what you do, because doing this, it ain't easy, So I just want to tell you that, man. Anytime you want to, come and check us out, film us, man, it's love.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. There you have it once again. Khaliq Harrison, 7-time national champion, man. He one of the dogs out of our area, man. Believe me, I'll put him up against anybody. Who you got out there? My Cali people in the bully world in Texas? Hey, I got my youngin' right here. There you have it. On the ropes out here at Hillcrest Boxing. We out.